there is definitely a subculture of kids who go out and do their own thing, like musically, and start bands with other kids and just kind of do whatever they want musically.
Okie dokie, problems dance around like hokey pokey, low-key dopely, sipping soapy, spitting written, burning stogies. On the stovies cooking raps, minestrone, Michael Scott, you Mr. Toby Madsen trying to win the trophy. It's LA, the average is celebrity, the gutter staying heavenly, and where the souls of reverence be. Every mind's fixed to the contents of the closet. I stay dropping flows like the leak in your faucet. Keith Urban, verbing in the juice, suburban version. Rappers fear my sermons like some post-traumatics to a turban, fearing what I practice, and us praying on Samantha's dreams lost without being found. Atlantis. As a rapper, like, making beats is something I want to get into, and to do that you need a very basic understanding of like multiple instruments, which I don't have and struggle to find. And just seeing these people who can play the piano, hear a song, play it from ear, go at it, and make something off the top of their head, something that sounds beautiful, like, it's fascinating to me, because I hear drum beats, I hear looped beats all the time, and to see the process behind how that comes into play is always something that interests me.
I play piano, I play cello, and I play classical guitar. And every Monday I have chamber music, so I play cello, piano, violin, viola. I play on orchestras on Saturday. I also study jazz piano and flamenco guitar, so kind of like Spanish sounding music. And I want to compose for movies someday, so I'm trying to be able to get a really well-rounded view of music as a whole. I don't want to be, known as the classical music guy, the jazz guy. I kind of want to be able to do as much as different styles as I can.
You don't do enough. You just don't do anything.
There's never enough. I mean, I think you can always go. You can always expand your horizons and do a little more.
A lot of what I do is very improvisational with this because there's no set thing for me to learn from, so I just kind of have to musically go at it on my own. But I try to be very much either Bob Dylan or Woody Guthrie most of the time.
I thought it would be something that would separate me apart and make me different from other people, something that stood out. And so I started writing lyrics. An example of like early songs of mine would be something like, I'm really good, Northridge is the hood. It was very bad, but I progressively started to develop my craft and hone my skills until the point that I got where I am now, and it definitely did separate me apart and added a new facet to my life.
What makes the music thing here is it's very diverse. I know Bruce too. He's a fantastic classical pianist. There's a freshman who's a drummer. He's great. I see him every Sunday when we do jazz. I feel like there's so much variety, so much different ends of the spectrum that really makes Chaminade so special in my eyes.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm playing with circuits, and I'm going to make an experimental instrument on this right here. The sound that I'm looking for doesn't always come from changing the pot. It can come from playing with the circuit and playing with how much, say, this resistor or any wire is attached to the copper and moving it around on the copper that's inside the breadboard. It changes how it sounds and it changes the character of it.
Kids that are good at sports, their sports, the things that they work hard at, that defines them. And as someone that's really interested in music, I feel like that's something that sets me apart from the average Chaminade kid. And I do my best to make myself unique like that.
I know Alex Mansour, a sophomore at Chaminade, is like a musical prodigy, can play anything. I know there's the band, which is well respected. You can see them at all the football games. but my knowledge is very limited, and I'd like to know more about it because I am someone who makes music, but what I do isn't nearly as difficult, I think, as the people who actually take their time and learn an instrument, which is much harder because words come naturally to me, and trying to play an instrument is something I could never do, so it's something I respect. I mean, this can speak to the very basics of any sounds you hear.
I mean, it can. It sort of begs the question of what exactly is music. Like, if I could, I would tell you what the name of the book is, but there's a book written in the 1800s questioning what exactly is music, and pretty much the general consensus is anything.
Yeah.
And so that is where I think I find some inspiration to do this sort of thing, because I know, because it is music. It is honest. It is genuine music.
A lot of the kids that I see outside Chaminade that play music in the classical music world, a lot of them tend to be homeschooled. They only play that one instrument, and they can be a little shy, kind of awkward sometimes. But I think the good thing about Chaminade is it offers an opportunity to have social experiences. You get to work with your peers, prepares you for the real world, but at the same time it doesn't give you so much work. You don't have time to pursue your interests.
Northridge Renaissance, LG, we got better thoughts, and before Steve had jobs, I had been a boss. Watch Sammy Davis play this and he'll say that I'm the greatest. My Toronto girl wants a ring, should've went to Jared Bayless, Google that. Super Smash, cause a rash if not a gash, hits back and forth, see Neim going Arthur Ashe, I'd ask.
As far as what fascinates me about music, I think that since sound is almost a secondary sense, as it doesn't dominate our lives as much as, say, vision, I think sound is something really interesting and really abstract to put something across in. So it's something that I'm almost taking it on as like a challenge to try to just say what I'm saying very implicitly through sound as opposed to very explicitly through painting or writing.
I mean, I try my best to be real and be myself around my friends, but sometimes when I'm playing music and I'm really into something, I feel I become passionate and emotional, and it's something that doesn't always come out when you're in class or when you're talking to friends.
Something to go out on.